Today we're going to look at not one but two platformers that really took me by surprise. I recently had some store credits for my local pre-owned game and movie shop and was struggling to find games that I wanted to make up the full amount. There were a few games that I wasn't too sure about, but I decided to take a bit of a risk and pick them up. They were only £2 each, after all. Much to my surprise, both of them turned out to be really well put together, and I ended up playing each of them for way longer than I expected to when I just chucked them in for a quick go. Please note that I haven't yet finished either of these games, but the quality of what I have seen is really high, so I am fairly confident in recommending both titles, especially as neither of them will break the bank. If, however, upon completing either of them I feel that they ultimately are disappointing, I will be sure to do a follow-up video or article on my blog pointing out this fact. First up, we have Kaya Dark Lineage, which was published by Atari and developed by Eden Studios. Eden Studios are more well known by gamers for their driving games, such as the V-Rally series and Test Drive Unlimited, but they certainly have proven with Kaya that they know what they are doing when it comes to putting together a polished platformer. The game begins with a CGI scene set in our world where Kaya hears a creepy noise in her house at night and goes to investigate. She discovers that her half-brother Frank has found a secret room that Kaya's long-absent father has blocked off. After picking up a strange amulet, Frank is sent through a portal to another world and, fearing for his safety, Kaya dives in after him. After a rather rough landing, she wakes up to see a group of furry creatures called natives looking down at her. Before she has long to take stock of her situation, however, she is forced to run for her life as the group comes under attack from the evil Wolfen. After a very extensive tutorial sequence, the group eventually arrive at the safety of the village, where you are then told how to fight and given your first proper mission in this new world. Kaya Dark Lineage impresses from a technical standpoint right away. The graphics rival the likes of Jak and Daxter in terms of their detail, and loading times are cleverly obscured to the point where you barely notice them. The game frequently switches from one style of gameplay to another, such as floating on a stream of air, riding a magic board down a slope, or beating Wolfen into submission. Not too far into the game, you are informed that these Wolfen are actually natives that have been transformed by the evil Lord Brazil. Once they have been knocked out, you can use your powers to revert them to their original form. As you save more and more natives throughout the levels, new shops will be built back in the hub village. The items sold there will usually grant Kaya some new ability which she will need to learn in order to advance any further. The currency for these shops comes in the form of newties, which are dropped by enemies and also found in crates that can be destroyed. The other game I would like to cover is KO the Kangaroo Round 2. I was vaguely aware of this title before buying it, but had always dismissed it as just another generic platform game. However, just like Kaya, I discovered a bit of a hidden gem. Development duties this time belonged to a Polish company called Tate Interactive, and the game was published by Jowood Interactive in Europe. I have not played the first game in the series that was available for the Dreamcast, but it would appear that this game picks up sometime after the end of the first one, with KO incarcerated in a cage by a dastardly hunter. After being broken out by his parrot friend, you are then told that the hunter has also captured many other animals, and from there on it becomes your mission to set them free. KO, armed with his trusty boxing gloves, a deadly spinning tail attack, and other items such as boomerangs, sets off through several worlds with 4 or 5 missions within them in order to help his friends. I was really surprised with just how well this game is made. The controls are really solid and responsive, which is of vital importance in a platformer. The graphics are excellent, and there's a nice variety of things for you to do in just the first world. It is very much a collectathon style platformer in the style that Rare made for the Nintendo 64, though thankfully it doesn't go overboard with it like Donkey Kong 64. Instead, you're limited to 3 things you have to hunt down and pick up in each level. Stars, which are typically dished out for defeating enemies in combat. Coins, which are strewn everywhere throughout a level, as well as found in breakable pots and crates. And purple gems, which are usually a bit more tucked away than the coins, and which unlock extra minigames in the hub world. The The stars that you collect will allow KO to jump further, as well as other improved abilities when you collect certain amounts of them. Like I said at the beginning, I was lucky enough to find both of these games for £2 each, though they normally go for a bit more than that. Should you happen to spot either of these games in your local game shop, or perhaps at a car boot sale or flea market, I would certainly consider giving them a go if you enjoy a good 3D platformer now and again.